The next portion that we're going to do is we're going to be doing the blue portion. So we've already done all the magenta parts of our Sentinel. You can see we've actually had to cover up that magenta part, so now we're reverse masking to cover up the parts we've already painted, and then we're going to do the next part. We're going to shoot it with the heavy chipping fluid and let that dry, and then we'll shoot it with the blue, and then we'll make it look like it's weathering off, and you can see this underneath. For the parts where there's the bullet holes, you can see we put a little silver in there, so I had to cover that with a little bit of the rubber masking fluid, so that when we shoot it with the blue and everything, then we'll go out and peel that off, so the silver will still be exposed, and then we'll put the rust over top of that, so a little bit of the silver will be showing through. So that's the next thing we're going to be doing, is doing the blue. One thing that I had fun doing is there's a craft store here called Kitcraft, and they have like they have these huge tubs just full of little tiny model parts, little pieces that are left over, it's a junk box basically. And I had fun time going through all that, just looking for something that seemed like it might be right. You can see for the shoulder portion that we talked about before, I've even rusted it even more, so it looks even more rusty. I wanted to look like in here that this portion, you know, like I always said, I want to make it feel like it's a real working robot. So I wanted to make it felt like it had a geared mechanism that would rotate the shoulder. So one of the things I found this was out of the flashlight or something, and anytime I dismantle something, I'll just save a little piece that's like a little cog. But then they had this really great one, this little cog that was in the junk thing, nice wide cog, and the hole was too small, so I had to drill it out. But now it's perfect, so I'll just put this one as part of the mechanism on there, and then this part of the mechanism on there, so that'll be on there. And of course I'll paint these so this looks rusted, and this will be up inside, so that when you look at it, if you look inside, it looks like there's cogs that broke loose, part of the mechanism, so that will give a little air of realism to it. There were all kind of other little things that I found in that little junk box, like this little cap. It's a little soft plastic cap that you would have. They would have like a little tub that you would put like little small parts in for collecting, little small parts. So I didn't have this with me, but I thought, that's going to be the perfect size, and I was right. So if you look, this little plastic cap just covers that perfectly for like a little chest plate, and I got several of those so I could experiment with it. So I got one that I just cut it up with a pair of scissors, so that when it's in there, it looks like it was destroyed. And then so when you get the flashlight underneath and this on the top, it will really give it an air of realism. And then for this little portion where the arm mechanism will be, that'll be hanging off of the bottom portion here. I like this whole mechanism, but I don't like the nub here. It just didn't feel like it was part of a robot. So another little thing that I found in the junk thing was this little guy, just a little tiny little nothing. This hose wasn't on it, and I found the little hose, and it was a perfect size to attach to it. I figured this would be like a little hydraulic pump or something, so I'll paint this like a little rust, and then we'll have this like glued on the end there, and that will be the last little detail that will polish that off, and it will look perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to shoot the blue, and we'll come back and show you that.